If Hollywood has taught me anything about thermal vision, it's that red equals hot. But let's take a look at a few reasons why that may or may not be the case. Continuing our look at thermal myths and tips today, we're going to look at a common misconception, which is if I see red, that must be really hot. There are a few reasons why that's not the case. The first thing you should know is that a thermal camera may actually use any one of several different color palettes. Here you can see I have several options: white hot, hot iron, rainbow, and what most people typically think of when they think of thermal, iron red. A second thing to know is that the color you see is always relative to what's in the frame. In this color palette, from coolest to warmest, we have black, purple, red, orange, yellow, and white. We can see that my body is showing in a yellowish white color. This indicates that I'm the warmest thing in the frame. But as soon as we introduce this ordinary space heater to the frame, you can see the white shifts to the dish of the space heater, and my body is now roughly a bluish purple. Did the temperature of my skin suddenly and dramatically change? Obviously not. What has happened is because we've introduced a warmer object into the frame, the camera has to adjust to show the space heater as the warmest thing in the frame. To help understand this concept, think of the way your handheld camera works when you introduce a bright light into the frame. The camera is compensating for the exposure change. In a similar fashion, thermal imaging always compensates for the scene to best represent the hottest and coldest objects in the frame. This works when you introduce a warm object, like we just did, and when we introduce a cold object. So if we go back to our thermal view, you can see the studio wall is fairly cool to the touch. But as soon as we introduce this beverage that's been in a refrigerator, the color shifts to compensate. There are several ways this understanding of thermography can help with enterprise applications. For example, understanding red doesn't mean hot can give perspective when performing inspections and search and rescue operations. The purpose of a thermal camera is that it's a tool to more efficiently diagnose and find thermal anomalies to identify objects or people during your missions. What other oddities have you noticed about thermal images? Let us know in the comments. Maybe we'll answer them on the next video. As always, you can reach out with questions to our team at ask@rmus.com, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on news and tips on drones and robotics.